It's late. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm sitting here bored, and I noticed something. I had the commander resources to upgrade at my commander. I was running. Scroll all the way up through all of these. William Halsey. He was level 16 too. I had Eric Bay and William Sims with observant range. Look at me now. 1,000 cuts, smoke on the water, and unstoppable. And I thought to myself, I have Vincent Mordoff. This dude looks like a very, very old, druggy Western Keanu Reeves. Maybe that's just me. Same things, pretty much. Observant range, look at me now, 1,000 cuts, and sheltered arms is the main thing, but his base rate. 6% more reload time is taken off, and I swapped Eric Bay for Ding Rushang. He's like level 12, Legendary 1, or maybe level 11, Legendary 2, I'm not sure. However, what I do know is, on my Fletcher, I believe it has a 3.5 second stock reload time. It gets to 2.1 seconds. What does this mean for my Fletcher? It can go a full 360. I can hold the trigger and it will continuously fire. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Endlessly. It will not stop. I find this to be a huge accomplishment. I've wanted to do this for forever. Every new player that figures out you can hold down the trigger on a ship with a bunch of guns can do it. But the problem was finding a ship with both the large number of guns, small caliber of guns, and fast reload to get this done. That was my issue. And I've done it. She can go a full 360. Fletcher alone is a monster. Gearing, I already put this to test in the training rooms, can outgun 2 stock summoners with like 4,000 hit points remaining. It would accomplish that without the full 360, just not with as much HP remaining. Gearing, I see much less notability for it, but this is something else. But it also does something that I find quite peculiar, and personally, I think is hardly fair. My favorite destroyer in the game, the Farragut. This little demon of a destroyer is largely underrated. I hardly see it talked about as one of the best ships in the game, and that's just an undeniable fact. The American destroyers, as much as I love them, peak at tier 4. Because the Farragut's dominance cannot be undermined. It cannot be... you can't avoid it. The Farragut, nothing outguns the Farragut at its tier. It's the king. And the reason I bring up the Fletcher and Vincent Mordoff and my build and dumping all of my commander resources in a low-level commander to get him to 16-3 is because of the reload. 3.4 seconds. I have a stock Fletcher at tier 4. With a very similar concealment. Actually, better concealment. Not in stock Fletcher, but with no reload build into it. I have a demon on my hands. I'm going to play a game or two. The Farragut is a lovely vessel. I love the Farragut. The Farragut is... It's hard to say. It's pure bliss playing the ship. The Farragut holds my record for Krakens in a singular ship. The Farragut has 4 of my Krakens in this ship alone. Maybe more. And it did hold my kill record until very recently. At 6. I beat it with 7 with the Friedrich. P. Friedrich. But here's the build. This is a pay-to-win build only in the commander alone, which can be replicated very, very closely as a free-to-play. But you have to have that little bit of pay-to-win kick to get that satisfying 360s all the way around. Aiming systems modification 1, because there's not many carriers. I mean, 20% more AA. 20% of nothing is nothing. Traverse speed, it's not that slow. More shells are better. The Farragut's largely inaccurate anyway. These are just the upgrades. For the commander build. Ding Rushang 11-2. That's what it is. Main battery reload time. William Sims for HP per ship tier. This is really not a great choice for a low tier. You would largely be better off with Eric Bay for detectability or something not relating to tier. Because this is, at tier 4, you're getting like 1,000 more HP out of it. Not something very significant. Observant range, 5% less reload time. 12% better torpedo acquisition range, but 10% worse rudder shift time. I hear people say that this is a bad choice. I've yet to see it be bad. The rudder shift time on the gearing, which was what I originally had chosen it for, was changed by 0.1 or 0.2 seconds, which is not enough for me to be very well concerned about it. Look at me now, because detectability will win you the fight. You could run mortar. I wouldn't. You know, you don't get this. You're losing detectability. The HE shell damage would be monstrous, but your detectability would be awful. If you were going to run mortar, you would have to go a full gun build and play it like a Khabarovsk. Which also isn't impossible. I just don't recommend. 1,000 cuts. 8% less reload time on top of the 5% earlier. And the secondary reload time, which is largely irrelevant on destroyers. This is the pay-to-win commander, Vincent Mordoff. This is his special commander skill, Sheltered Arms. Risk of main battery being incapacitated minus 100%. That means half as likely. Risk of torpedo tubes being incapacitated, also 100%. Half as likely. This will not become a max level until this does. But I don't have that kind of commander resources at the moment. I literally dumped all of my commendations. And Unstoppable. Allows for reduced mobility with a disabled engine and or rudder. I cannot stress this enough. This will save your life many a time. And this will kill you many a time. An additional almost 6%. What is that total? 10.7. 18.7. And then Ding Rushang. That's 13, 18, that's 19.3, 21.3% better reload time. If I did that math correctly. This is a monster. It will be unrivaled. The closest line to the American destroyers that I've seen. were the Pan-European lines. Mavinet stored mainly Grom. I played Grom. I loved the Grom. It's better than Benson. Split, just not as fun as the Farragut. Not as fun as the Fletcher. To the gameplay. Shouldn't take too long, but then again it is low tiers well after midnight. All the drunk veterans are drunkenly asleep, and all of the salty 5-year-olds are in bed. Hello, 20 seconds. Not bad. Not bad. This will be unfair. He won't stand a chance. Neither will he. Seeing a Farragut on the enemy team, it's ironic. I see them frequently, and I am never worried about fighting them, because it's the Farragut. Who plays tier 4? I play tier 4. Hello, Devonshire. I almost didn't see you. He'll play a key role in this game. Hello. HE is your shell type of choice. 5.5. What are my torpedoes? 5.5 as well. Okay. Closer than I'd like, but I suppose it isn't the end of the world. That's the mid-spawn, I believe. Yes. But Johnny, I believe, can have radar. Hello. Shooting his guns already. The other destroyer's here as well. He's no longer spotted. I'm no longer spotted.
I'm proud of you, son. Great fight.
That guy, Anton Grant, his name is like Russian or Slavic, but that dude sounds as southern as my dad. I have a feeling whatever it is sitting on the other side of that island.
Attention. Reporting the target position.
Who's dead? Our cruiser? Of course, in Omaha. They've been taking some fire. That's why I was saying the accuracy is something to be desired. The firing angles on the Farragut are also lackluster. Actually shot at me? Oddly surprising. See, 1, 2 shells already. Come on. Come on. Alright.
We have sunk the enemy tin can. The engine has been cranked. Full speed ahead.
Odd. Could be the Deerflinger still, I suppose. What destroyer is this? Sirocco? He's about to have a fun time. I have a feeling. I was saving one for him just in case things got messy, but he is perfectly planted bow in.
Enemy destroyer is blown up. Congratulations! You disappeared into the smoke.
See what I'm saying? The Sirocco died before he knew what was going on. The T-22 was more difficult because he knew what he was doing. And even still, he panicked. I would be remarkably close to full health had this marvelous specimen at Tier 4 not been taking shots at me. And the agility of the Farragut. Look at the Warship. Can't call that a
Boost is
mistake.
disabled. Slowing down.
Alright, he's gonna stay a good ways. Not to mention the armor piercing is phenomenal. I have Citadel the Langley from maximum range with the Farragut. It is undeniable how strong the Farragut is in this environment. The only thing preventing the Farragut from outgunning gunboats like the Velos, at least when I had it, was HP. The DPM of the Farragut is, at this point that I have it to, is on par with a completely stock Fletcher. This isn't just some build. This is almost unfair. And I love it.
Attention! Reporting the target position. Acknowledged.
See the guns turning. It's not slow. They're just not super fast. He's gonna go further away. Citadel. That was a double Citadel, actually. Phenomenal AP. 9 Citadels. 12 Citadels. "15 consecutive Citadels." This game went from a mediocre, not even mediocre, but a extremely successful game, showcasing the strengths of the USS Farragut. But I just accomplished Showing the AP off too. That's phenomenal. That's right over my head. Last drop. Last drop. I shot down not a singular plane, hence my decision not to run the AA modification. 15 consecutive citadels on a carrier that at the end was rather angled. The ship is what I believe is the epitome of what every gunboat destroyer should be. This is the dream. Every gunboat should strive to be the Farragut.
Son, it's time to get rather serious. 5 minutes to the end of the fight. Attention! Reporting the target position.
This is actually surprising to find a California not in the fleet place first. 7 of 9 kills went to the California and I. This is harmony. A battleship doing battleship things, punishing broadsides and racking up damage. A destroyer doing his job, spotting, taking out their eyes, and the pests. 58,000 damage, a singular torpedo hit on a destroyer that was nearly dead. 3 kills, 15 consecutive citadel hits, 3 defended. No solo cap, but which is probably what put the California above me. And all those medals he's got. This is a first game. I recorded the entire thing. This is a 24-minute video. I'm not going to edit this. I'm just going to upload it straight to YouTube. This is... You can't even make this up. First game, I dominated. And I just showed everyone it wasn't that hard. With the Farragut, you can make mistakes and still win the gunfight. And the Farragut has this lovely ability of fighting tier 3s. It's just not fair. It's seal clubbing. Just unfair is what it is. And you can't even make it up. A 60,000 damage game at tier 4 is respectable for a cruiser. And I'm in a destroyer. I annihilated a carrier. Annihilated destroyers. I drew fire from a battleship. Potentially the Devonshire or a Kishkadwin could have died by that Derflinger's hand. You never know. But instead he was shooting at me. made decent money as well. 184,000 with premium time that I won. And 117,000 without. This is with 0 boosters. There are not a single booster active aside from my fleet bonus. And the commander XP, I believe. The Farragut is truly what a gunboat should be, and what it is a perfect learning example of how to play a gunboat destroyer. So if you're new, which very few people who in this game are on YouTube, but if you are new and decide to look at the game, if you are new and decide to take a look at the destroyers, I cannot suggest enough the Farragut. It's easy to find. The first tier 4 destroyer line, the first tier 4 destroyer on the very first line. The Wix is a decent gunboat. The Clemson, a phenomenal gunboat. And the Farragut, arguably the best gunboat in the game. And it's unarguable that the ship is one of the best in the game. One of the most dominant ships at its tier. You won't get much better. And oddly enough, with the American destroyer line, each is better than the last. And then you can go full circle. Back to the Farragut. Remember your roots. This ship will teach you how to play a gunboat destroyer. People at this tier make mistakes. It's your job to learn to punish those mistakes. For example, being on the same flank as you, merely entering your gun range, and merely existing in your presence. A decisive Farragut player will punish those mistakes. And the Farragut, being as lovely as it is, sits at a tier where guns are ignored. Tier 4 and below destroyers are all about the torpedoes, which Farragut has no shortage of, except for range. They have a lot of torpedoes. They do good damage. They are amazing at throwing into smoke screens. Because some people don't like their health evaporating before their eyes, taking chips away. They like to press their get out of jail free card. And you can sit there, waiting. You can sit there like a shark at a coral reef, waiting for the fish to come out. Like a fisherman, rod in hand, waiting for the fish to snag a bite. You can sit there and wait for them. And all they have is that minute of safety before you rain down your American freedom lead on them once more. The Farragut is entirely free. Stock, the Farragut has a 4.1 or 2 second main battery reload time. Inexperienced players' build managed to get that down almost a full second to 3.4. Don't worry about the reload. Your guns are already some of the best. There are very, very, very few cases of destroyers you are going to fight in the Farragut that you cannot charge in confidently, with certainty that your guns are better. You don't need to check names, memorize armor, or nation. The Farragut does not discriminate. You can drive in a straight line sail, for ship's sake. Unload your 5, I believe 127 millimeter guns, and do massive amounts of damage very quickly. All you have to do is change your aim when they change course. This ship is truly what I think the learner's greatest benefit. If this video does well, I might post some other cruisers that I think are the greatest ships to learn on. They'll have to be low down in the tech tree, completely free to play. And if this one doesn't really strike home because of my commander, I'll use a different one. This commander isn't what makes the ship. The ship makes the commander. And this one in particular needs no commander except the one holding the controller. You could go in with the wrong commander. Or, if you're brand new to the game, this guy. I know a lot of people who are stuck with this guy. Poor Dewey. If people want to build on him, I can run a build on him as well. If you do have the commander Halsey, he's the bald guy with the cap and binoculars in his hands. He has the I mean harm trait. My guys doesn't help very much. But that's him. These commanders will work better than Dewey, but not as good as Halsey. Now, I must part you with the beautiful sight of a 360 degrees of the Farragut, the start, and in my opinion, the true heart of the American destroyers line. She's truly a beautiful ship and a monster. You know, they do say all the meanest girls do have the prettiest faces. And with that, I will see you all in the next one.